right, ladies. Let's see. Is it on speaker view right now? Can you see that?
Yep. Do you want to just mute everyone? Okay. Everyone themselves.
Alrighty, guys, we are gonna get started. Thank you guys so much for popping on tonight. I know it's kind of late for some, but we are just excited to share a little bit about coaching and why it is that we love coaching so much, what it's done for our lives, and just kind of share the things that we often get questions about and we get people asking a lot of things about. So we just want to cover all that tonight and share with you guys just a little bit of our hearts. So we're going to share our stories first a little bit, get to have you guys get to know us a little bit and learn a little bit of our backstory. So Rachel, did you want to go ahead and get started there?
Yes, I can start. Hey everyone, welcome. So excited to have you guys here. Whether you're watching this live or you're catching the recording, I just want you guys to give yourselves a kudos because I know that this is a commitment to sit here and chat with us, but we are so blessed and grateful to have you here. Our stories are also unique, so I love being able to just kind of share where we started because I feel like we can relate to others so much in their journey. For me, when I started, first of all, I had tried programs in the past, anything you can imagine, but specifically I had tried Beachbody programs in the past through college. I did Insanity, which was amazing, and I got incredible results. And then I kind of started the whole yo-yo dieting. I had struggled with eating disorders through high school and college, and not one person in my world ever knew about it. I never told my mom. I never told my sister. I never told my best friend. Nobody knew about it. And it was honestly just stemming from an insecurity that I have. I was never overweight. I never struggled with any kind of obesity or anything like that. I just struggled with a lot of negative self-talk and negative self-hate and body image, negative body image. So when this opportunity was brought to me, in the coaching aspect, I was 4 weeks postpartum. I had just had my first baby and I was lost. I was struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety that I had never experienced before. I was left with a body that I didn't recognize. I can remember scrolling through social media and seeing all these transformation pictures of people and what they look like. And I would compare myself to the week. Like, wait a minute, I'm 2 weeks postpartum. Why don't I look like she did? And I would sit there and I would just cry, like thinking about how this can't be it. Like, I can't have this negative feeling towards myself. I can't look at myself this negatively when I just created this beautiful miracle and he's depending on me to be the best version of myself. So when my coach approached me, my first thing was, I don't have the time. I just kept saying that, like, I don't have time. There's no way I could fit one more thing into my schedule. Like I said, I was 4 weeks postpartum. I was getting ready to go back to work full time. I worked full-time rotating shifts in a very demanding job in the hospital setting. So I worked holidays, weekends, night shift, you name it. And then I had a baby who wasn't sleeping. So that was my biggest fear, was that I wasn't going to have the time. But what I found was I could create such an incredible business and lay that foundation in 15, 20, 30-minute pockets of time throughout my day, on my lunch breaks, before I put, after I put Alex down to bed, before he woke up in the morning, like little sacrifices, stop scrolling social media, things like that, that I realized how much time I really had in the day. I was just wasting it doing things that weren't providing for my family. So I'll kind of go in at the end of this, kind of what coaching's done for me and what I was able to do. But that's pretty much how I got started, just postpartum, lost, and struggling. So.
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting myself. Thanks, Rach. So it's so interesting to learn about how so many of us kind of came together with very similar starts. We can be completely opposite people, but a lot of times, a lot of us are brought together by the struggles that we had in the past, and coaching has actually helped us work through them. So Rachel, talked about how she, struggled so much when she was younger with eating disorders and with self-love and self-hate, and I similar issues. I grew up very unstable emotionally with the way that I looked and the way that I talked to myself, and the way that I saw myself in the mirror was completely different than reality. But because I had spent so much of my life seeing that and visualizing that unhealthy person, that's actually what I created. That's the person that I ended up creating, the thing that I feared so much. So when I reached the point of where I really hit a brick wall, it was when I had my kids. And I had a realization that I had grown up that my whole life looking and thinking of myself a certain way. And it broke my heart to think that my kids could possibly feel that way about themselves. So once I had kids, I'm like, this is it. This is the end. I will no longer live this life because I cannot pass this on to my kids. This was something that was passed on to me from, my childhood. And I am going to take the reins and I'm going to stop it right now. And that is actually how Beachbody came into my life. Totally random, but I started following this girl on Instagram. And she was so positive and she was such a light, and she was sharing her life on social media so openly. She was sharing her workouts, she was sharing her nutrition. And I gravitated towards her and I wanted to see her every single day. I never talked to her. I never reached out. I really just stalked her on Instagram. But she brought so much hope to me just watching what she was doing. And that's how I ended up getting started. I ended up joining one of her, what they call challenge groups, and we'll go into what that means. And that was the biggest change for me, was watching how other people actually encouraged me to not give up. I'd given up on myself my whole life, and this, for the first time, there were people that were cheering me on and would not let me give up on myself. So that was the experience that switched things around for me, was the fact that there were other people, other women that I didn't know, that were truly wanting the best for me and wanting to lift me up and encourage me. And that is actually what coaching is. That is coaching. We are a community who brings people up from where they are and literally truly wants the best for each other. We truly want everybody to succeed and everybody to win, whether that's our clients or whether that's our coaches on our team. But we really are like professional cheerleaders. We consistently cheer each other on and want the best for each other. So a big thing for me when I got started was, because I was so broken physically and emotionally, I didn't feel like I was able to coach anybody, because one, I was not physically fit at all. I was really overweight, and I also had such a poor self-image. So I thought there's no way that I could actually help somebody get out from where they are when I was so unhealthy. I thought that I had to look a certain way. I thought that I had to look like my coach. I thought that I had to have all this fitness experience. But when I realized that you can literally start where you are, because people want to go along the journey with you. People wanted so much to be experiencing what I was experiencing with me. So when I realized that, I went all in. And let me show you a picture. A lot of times people don't understand where I started from. When I started coaching, this was the first month that I ever started coaching. This was me, and this was doing one of the first workouts that I did. And I started recording myself for the first time. And you guys, that was hard, so hard to do. But I knew that if I could literally inspire one person to just start, then my job was done. And so I didn't hold back. I went all in. And because I did that, my business exploded, and I was able to help so many people because I started at that place and I brought them along the journey with me. And now watching these people from when they started day one and they have gone on this journey with me, it's unbelievable how much that one decision that you make can change so many people's lives, and that ripple effect is just enormous. So I encourage you to please just be open-minded, and you don't have to be in a certain shape. You don't have to feel like you have all this time in the world. None of us do. None of us have all this extra time. None of us are in perfect, ideal shape, and we think that we're just done and we can start something new. So just be open to understanding that this is so much bigger than you may realize. You're muted. Great.
Struggling. But right, the most powerful thing you can do is bring somebody along your journey with you. You're going to be so much more relatable when they can see where you started, because they're going to relate to you in that moment. I think that's so hard. You may see some successes or, what we've done now, but where we started was so different. So let's talk about what it is that we do as online coaches. One of the things that I love about this industry and this business in general is that our number one focus is ourselves. It's just to become better people, mind, body, and soul. So number one, we are committing to our own health. That doesn't mean that we're perfect. I was just on here talking about how I love Chick-fil-A. It doesn't mean that we have to be perfect, but it does mean that every single day we are just focusing on being better than we were yesterday. We're humans, we make mistakes, but we are going to commit to one of our workout programs, and we're going to try to follow a meal plan, and we're going to take people along that journey with us. And with those, we host online accountability groups. And that's been the game changer for me. just like Heather said, I never had that accountability. I never had somebody else showing up for me. I never had somebody depending on me to check in, because who would know? Who would know if I didn't see any changes? Who would know if I didn't get my workout in? Who would know? But now they do. And coaching just gives you that one extra level of accountability, because you are not going to quit, because you know people are watching you. They're depending on you. And now you have people under you that are looking up to you to link arms with and go along that journey with you. So we are committing to ourselves physically, but also mentally. We do personal development, and a lot of you might be like, what the heck is that? I know when I was first introduced to personal development, I was like, I am not a crazy person. I don't need self-help books. But you guys, this has literally changed every aspect of my life, my marriage, my view on life, my faith, motherhood, like everything. My husband does personal development now. My mom does personal development now. I don't think there's anybody in the world who couldn't benefit from it. And really what it is as women, as coworkers, as moms, as spouses, we are constantly every single day pouring out to other people, right? Have you ever like had the end of the day where you just feel like you have nothing left to give? And this is just us filling our own cup before we're pouring out to other people. And it can be in any version. It could be music. It could be an audiobook. It could be a book. It can be a podcast that speaks to you. It really doesn't matter. It's just something that you're using to fill yourself up. Heather, did you want to touch on that at all?
Yeah. I felt the same way about personal development when I first started this. I'm like, well, I can do all the other things, but I just won't do that part because personal development's not really my thing. Which is so funny because I totally saw it as like self-help, you know, like I don't need that self-help stuff because I had this whole idea of what personal development was. But it wasn't until I actually read my very first like personal development book and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so much more. It's so much bigger than I thought. And it literally, same thing. It has completely changed everything. The way that I see so much, the way that I relate to people, the way that I see that how the world runs, my patience with my kids, like it just has changed so much for me. So that is one of the things, a big thing that we focus on. And how cool is it that as a job and as a company, like that's one of the things that they want you the most for you is for you to benefit yourself in health, in fitness, and in your mind and body spirit. Like that's huge. And what a cool thing for a company to actually want that for you. So I was going to kind of branch into one of the things that I hear all the time, and that is social media. One of the things that I hear people talk about constantly is they don't want to be on social media because it's a negative place, or they feel kind of down on social media. Well, that is kind of how I felt as well. I felt like social media was one of those places that kind of made me feel like sluggish. It made me feel like I just wasted time on there. But being part of this community, my social media is a completely different place. Like obviously now I run my business on my social media, but my social media is completely different. And that is because one, personal development, but two, the people that I surround myself with now. The people that are on my feed are like-minded people. There are people in our community. There are people in our challenge groups. There are other coaches. There are people who even not associated at all with what we do, but just positive, uplifting people. And I feel like that is such a huge part of my mission, and our mission is to change the way that people relate in the world. And I really honestly think that social media was put here for a positive reason, and we have the power to change that, and we have the power to make social media what it was intended to be, and that's a positive place. That's a place for information. That's a place for us to share. That's a place for us to encourage. That's a place, you know, for us to communicate positively with each other. And it really is up to us to be able to change that and to do that. And by coaching, that has completely transformed my social media. I want to share a quick story about that, about just the community that we are a part of. When I went to my very first like event through this company, we were in a huge city. We were in New Orleans, and I don't know if many of you guys who have ever been to New Orleans, but it can be kind of a rough place. And we were riding around with this taxi cab driver, and it had been at the end of this event. So it was like the end of the 3 days that we had been there. And we got in the car and he said, you know, are you guys Beachbody coaches? And we said, yeah. And he said, I just have to tell you, every single person that has gotten in my cab over the last 3 days has been one of the most positive, kind, generous, and thankful people that I've ever had in my cab. He said, I've been driving a cab in New Orleans for almost 20 years. And never, out of all the conferences, out of all the people that I've driven, never have I experienced the kind of people that have been in my cab in the last 3 days. And that right there was proof to me that we are truly changing the world. And that may seem, drastic to say, but I honestly believe that we do have the power to make, huge positive changes. And that's the kind of community that you're joining. That's the kind of community that we are.
I agree 100%. And it is like community and collaboration over competition. There is no competition. There is no secrets in this business. Like we share it all with each other. We are absolutely in zero competition. It is just to better each other and to see, how we can help each other succeed. And that's one thing I love about it. Another thing like that's so cool is, and I've heard this a lot, that going along with the social media that people are saying like, I don't really ever post selfies. You guys, my social media was locked down before I started coaching. Like everything was set to private. Nobody could see anything. Nobody was seeing pictures of my kids. That comes with time. And we have trainings and systems and things to help you and encourage you along that path. But I don't want you to think that you need to be this social media guru or have this massive following. Like that's not what it is. The best thing is that you don't even ever have to worry about being salesy. I know that was another worry. But really what we're doing is just like Heather and I are doing right now. Like we are sharing our journey. We're not trying to pretend to be people. We're not pushing products on people. We are sharing our specific journey with how this has changed our lives and encouraging others to allow it to open into their life too. So don't ever be worried about having to be a salesperson or push products or do anything like that. Because if you are being authentic and allowing this to change you, it will never be like that. Not once have I ever felt like that.
Mm-hmm. Everybody comes from a different space, and everybody does their business their own way. And that's the beauty of this. You can do it however it is that you choose. You don't have to do it exactly like the person who invited you here. You don't have to look like a certain person. You don't have to do the exact same things. You truly just have to be sharing yourself authentically and take people on this journey that you're on, that you're about to get on. So don't ever feel like you need to be a cookie cutter of what you think a coach might be.
Yeah.
Big thing too with social media. Like I felt like I didn't have this huge following, and people say that to me all the time. Like, oh, you have all these people that are following you. You have such a huge, customer base. Well, I started with like 200 people on my Instagram, and I had no idea even how to run Instagram. I posted pictures of my kids on there. So we take you through, like, just like Rachel said, we take you through all that, and that's all part of our training that you're going to be part of as soon as you start up with us.
So yeah, another kind of, and if you guys have any questions, or concerns, please, if you're thinking it, 5 other people are thinking it too. So please comment and we will cover them. We're just going over some of the common ones that we hear. And I know a concern for some people that I've heard has been pyramid scheme, right? You hear, an MLM, or you hear online business and you automatically think pyramid scheme. If I'm being honest, I didn't even know what a pyramid scheme was in the beginning. Like somebody had said that and I'm like, what? I had to do my research. First of all, our company has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. I can 100% promise you that it is not a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are illegal. And this is very much a legal business. I always say this whenever I talk to potential coaches, is just, if I can put in perspective how important it was for me to make this decision. Like when I worked at the hospital, not only did I have a really good career that I worked hard at, but I also carried my entire family's insurance. So when my husband and I looked into this business and we decided that this was something that I was going to do full time, we didn't make that decision lightly, and it wouldn't have been something that would have hindered or hurt our family in any way. Okay. So I can say that with all of the ease that this is not a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme pretty much means that you could never surpass somebody above you. And it's not like that at all. You could sign up and next year you could be earning more income than me. I can earn more income than my coach. It is all, your income will directly reflect your work and efforts 100%. So, none of that. Okay. So Heather, did you have anything else? Any other comment? I think that's probably, those are the ones that I hear most of. Did you want to talk a little bit about income since we're talking that? Yeah. So let's talk about how we earn money, right? This is the fun subject. This is what everyone wants to know. Okay. So in the beginning, 90% of your income is going to come from commission when you get started, because you don't have a customer base, you don't have coaches underneath you. And like I said, in our trainings and everything, we will teach you how to grow that. That's how we all started. So we earn a 25 to 40% commission depending on what it is, for everything, for apparel, for programs, for, our any of our nutritional products, anything, we earn 25 to 40%
Commission.
okay, commission. Thank you. Commission on that. Mom brain is real tonight. So that's how you're going to get started, you guys. But that's not where the sweet spot is, right? Because we really want to dig into that residual income. That's when your business starts taking off. And that's going to be by you leading a team, by you getting other people who have the same vision, the same mission as you, and creating that ripple effect that is absolutely astronomical, because you just get to impact others' lives and then they impact somebody else's life. And that ripple effect helps your family and your finances so much. So there are so many different weekly bonuses that you earn by growing your team. There's team cycle bonus, there's fast start bonuses, there's challenge pack bonuses. There's so many different ones. And I don't want to go into detail with that. I just want to tell you that literally the sky's the limit. This is not a get rich quick scheme by any means. And I would never want it to be, right? I would never want it to be something like that, because those companies don't last. Our company's been around for a long time and we are going to be around forever. I'm fully confident in that. But the earning opportunities are endless if you're willing to just kind of dig in and do the work. And that's what Heather and I have been able to find. So, do we want to go into just kind of how this has changed our lives, Heather? And then we can talk about how they get started.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch really quick on, I don't know if you guys heard Rachel say, but we get paid weekly. So all that you're earning is something you get every single week. So I love that about this company, that every single Thursday I get a nice paycheck directly deposited into my bank account. That is so great. I've actually never had a job that I got paid weekly. It's always been, bi-monthly or bi-weekly, but it's so nice to be able to get paid every single week. So you're actually directly able to see the work that you put in is the work that you get the paycheck you get the next week. And that's so exciting. So, and touching on that, like Rachel and I were both actually able to leave our jobs within 10, you were 10 months as well, right, Rachel? Yeah. So both after 10 months of doing coaching, and there's no guarantee, obviously Beachbody does not guarantee that kind of income, but I can promise you, if you put the work into it that we did, if you put the work into it, that's what you get that back. So we totally went all in. We put the work into it every single day, and we were able to walk away from our jobs. So it is absolutely possible. So many people think like, oh, that's not real. That doesn't happen. Well, it did. It happened for us, and we're right here to tell you that it can absolutely happen for you too. So you keep that in your head, like, I can do this. I can make this work. And if that's a dream of yours, then it's absolutely attainable. So.
Yeah. So another thing with that is this isn't like a traditional business, right? So I think so many of us shy away from something that's different. And, I prayed about this a lot, and really just thinking about it, it's just like, I would have been in the same job for 40 more years, working away from my family, missing out on precious moments. And that was always my goal, was to be that present mom that I wanted to be. Not everybody wants to be a work from home mom. Not everybody wants that. But you guys, I wanted it so bad. So bad. I still remember to this day sitting in the chair in my radiology department on a Saturday morning, and my phone ding, it went off, and I got it. I got my message, and it was my husband sending me a video of my son taking his first steps. And I just started sobbing, and I was like, this is going to be my life, like a monumental moment in a mother's life that you just want to be there for. And I missed it. And it wasn't the first time I missed out on things. I was scheduled to work Alex's first Christmas, and that may not be your story, but for me it was. And I knew that working a couple years, like maybe other people weren't willing to do, would create a life of freedom and presence of time, of precious moments that I would never get back. So I kept that in the forefront of my mind. No, it didn't come easy. Yes, there were sacrifices. I woke up early and I worked late, but now still to this point, like, I build an incredible business simultaneously while raising both of my babies. And I don't take any time away from them. I work in the mornings, I nap time hustle, I work at night, and we teach you guys how to do that too. So when I say that this business has changed my family's life in every aspect, it would never even be like an option for us to consider marrying my husband. And that is something that is in our future plan. I would have never had that option at my previous job. So it's really just looking at, what is the vision and the purpose and the passion that you have in your life? And what are you going to do with it? Right? We have this incredible platform. And I know, just like Heather said, it can sound like woo-woo to some people sometimes, but honestly, like, this is it. Like, this could be the answer for so many people if you just give it a chance and dig your feet in and do the work.
Yeah, 100%. Because you know, we all have those same doubts. We all felt like, I don't know if I can do this. Is this, you know, is this for real? Is this legit? Well, we're here to tell you it is for real, and it is absolutely legit. And it just takes belief, and it takes hard work. But that's what we're here for. We're here to instill that belief in you, and we are here to show you step by step exactly what we did, and encourage you guys along the way. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and say anything. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to how we get started. So how you get started as a coach, it's really quite simple. Just like we had mentioned before, you're not trying to distribute or sell things. You're really investing in your own self, your own health, and your own fitness. So that means that you're going to get started with your Beachbody programs. So that's going to be your access to all your streaming workouts. You get over 700 different programs, all like immediately downloaded to be able to be streamed right to your home. So you could do it from, you know, any kind of smart device, TV, computer, and that's going to be your membership. And then what goes along with that is your nutrition. So that could be whether it be Shakeology, which is our nutritional shake, or whether it be the pre and post workout, which is Energize and Recover. You get started with a bundle, and you really just start working on you. Your focus is going to be on your journey first. So, and then you're going to take people along that journey. So we're focusing on getting you exactly what it is that you need to be able to kickstart your journey and be able to get you those results right away so that you can start sharing that. So those are the things that you're going to do to get started. And it's actually, so many people are so worried about the investment to start a business. And I get that, because typically to start a whole business that is completely owned by you, you're forking out hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're talking about websites, you're talking about website design, you're talking about marketing, you know, so many different things going to starting a business. But when we're talking about coaching, your investment is literally $160. That's it. You're investing $160 for a year of your fitness program and your 30 days of your nutrition, whether that be your pre and post workout or your Shakeology. And then the only thing you're paying is $15 a month. And that covers all the other things. That covers all your websites, that covers your marketing materials, that covers your training, that covers any kind of shipping costs. For, you know, you don't have to hold anything. That we're, like I said, we're not distributors. So Beachbody takes care of all that back end stuff, and that's the only thing that you're paying for is that $15 a month service fee. And then to continue your whatever it is nutrition that you choose. So that's what you're going to be paying for monthly, is whatever program it is that you chose, whether you're going to be drinking your Shakeology every single month, or whether you're going to be taking your Recover or Energize or any of the other. We have so many different other options, and that's your only investment is you. So that is just a huge, huge thing that I feel like people misunderstand, is that you're going to have to invest all this money and all this time into something when it's really not. You have to understand you are truly investing in yourself, and you're bringing people along this journey as you go through these changes and as you experience like your healthiest life.
Yeah. And I think that was a huge thing for me. Like, I didn't want to have to hold products in my house. I did not want to have to host parties. Like, I didn't want to do any of that. I swear I've become more introverted since being a parent. But that's one thing that's really incredible, is that we don't have to worry about any of that. And you guys, like, as soon as you get started, like, it is not like we throw you to the wolves. Like, we are a community. We are a family. You will be in our groups. You will have endless opportunities to have trainings and to just see success. So I know that's another fear of people, is that, you know, how do I do when we get started? Like, we absolutely will handhold you until you're ready, you know, and we'll get you started at your own pace, and we'll talk about goals and go that way. Okay, so I think if nobody has questions, that was pretty much it, right, Heather?
Yeah, that's everything I had to cover. So if you guys don't have any questions, we can just talk about some really fun stuff here. So Rachel and I have actually put together some goodie swag bags. So for anybody and all of you that actually sign up by Thursday of this week, you're actually going to get a swag bag from us. So make sure that you reach out to the person who invited you, and make sure you let them know if you have any questions. Make sure that you get that covered, and that you start up with us by Thursday, and then you're going to get a swag bag sent directly from Rachel or I.
Yes. And you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're not watching this live, like, thank you so much for watching this recording. We're so grateful to have you here and be able to share something that we're so passionate about and has honestly just changed our lives in every aspect. We feel like we do it an injustice if we didn't share it. So I'm so thankful to have you here. And yeah, we look forward to welcoming you guys. So we will talk to you later.
Have a great
Have a
night,
good
guys.
night, guys.